turbochargers and all that, you know, because you feel it, you know.
You know what you used to do back in the old days? Like a guy would bring a car in, and then the boss would say, "All right, take it, the used car, and back, and just turn back the speedometer." Okay. I remember one guy.
The turtleneck with the black turtleneck with the big medallions. You know, see these Lambo guys sometimes with that, you know. And
For 30 years, America loved a man they never truly knew. Jay Leno, a television icon, someone who lived two parallel lives unnoticed by almost everyone. Under the dazzling lights, he hid another world where gasoline, steel, and fire became his true companions. Nobody suspected anything until each piece finally fell into place. The complete truth about Jay Leno's two lives will be revealed in this video. Are you enjoying this story, Jay Leno? Then help the channel with your subscription. Look, 94.8% of the people who watch these videos are still not subscribed to the channel. If you are part of that group, take the chance and subscribe now. It's free. And that way, you'll keep receiving amazing stories from TV shows we still miss. Oh, and don't forget, at the end of the video, you'll find more stories like this one. Humble origins. Jay Leno was born in 1950 in New Rochelle, New York. His father, Angelo Leno, was an Italian-American insurance salesman. His mother, Catherine Muir, came from Scotland, gentle and practical. His brother, Patrick, served in Vietnam and became a lawyer. The family lived simply, valuing hard work above all else. Jay's childhood was tied to the town of Andover, Massachusetts. A small house, an old garage, and long afternoons tinkering with cars fueled his patience. Jay frequently took things apart to understand how they worked. As he grew older, he realized that the same joy mirrored the feeling of making people laugh. After high school, Jay entered Emerson College in Boston. He chose to major in speech therapy, graduating in 1972. In his dormitory, he founded the school's first comedy club. By day, he worked in a garage near campus. By night, he performed in bars. The rhythm of two lives began there, the dual beginning. In the 1970s, Boston's small comedy venues flourished. Jay worked as a mechanic during the day and performed comedy shows at night. He once said, "By day I was covered in grease. By night surrounded by laughter. These two worlds weren't separate, they forged my discipline and endurance." In 1973, Jay moved to Los Angeles in search of greater opportunities. The city of film and television was attracting hundreds of young performers. He worked in a garage in Burbank and performed at night at the Comedy Store. His wages barely covered rent, but he maintained his habit of saving and working without rest. After 4 years performing in clubs, Jay was invited to appear on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. On March 2, 1977, he stepped onto the national stage for the first time. His short, steady-paced set drew solid laughter and caught Carson's attention. From then on, Jay became a regular guest, rise to fame. By the late 1970s, Jay appeared on smaller television programs. He wrote for Good Times and acted in Fun with Dick and Jane, One Day at a Time, and Alice. In 1978, he appeared in 2 films, American Hot Wax and Silver Bears. Jay continued to expand his comedy stage. He joined Late Night with David Letterman and appeared frequently on national television. His humor was concise, rhythmic, and observant of everyday life. Audiences remembered him as a working man telling stories, not a celebrity. In the 1980s, Jay began filling in for Johnny Carson during short breaks. His calm demeanor and scandal-free reputation caught NBC's attention. Producers admired his rare consistency, never late, never canceling shows, always professional. Offstage, Jay still spent long hours in his small Burbank garage. He bought rusted old cars, restored them by hand, and sold them. It was not a hobby, but a form of discipline and patience. He once said, "Fixing a car is like writing a joke. You work on it until it runs." The throne of American television. On May 25, 1992, Jay Leno succeeded Johnny Carson as host of The Tonight Show. He stepped onto the stage during NBC's generational transition. The show aired live each night at 11:35 p.m., becoming the defining platform for America's conversational comedy over the next 2 decades. During the first 3 months, Jay faced enormous pressure. Carson's loyal audience doubted his successor. Many newspapers at the time called it NBC's risky experiment. Jay gave no response, focusing instead on steady tapings and gradually winning viewers over with his relatable tone, solid pacing, and humor drawn from everyday life. He worked an average of 18 hours a day. Mornings were for production meetings, afternoons for script reading, evenings for taping, and nights for performing at clubs around Los Angeles. Jay said at his father's memorial in 1994, "You know, it really is lonely at the top. You have no idea, but we'll fight the good fight, Pop." Those words reflected the solitude that comes with success. By 1995, the show had reached its ratings peak. The Tonight Show with Jay Leno attracted more than 5 million viewers each night, surpassing David Letterman's Late Show. NBC reported a more than 30% increase in advertising revenue compared to previous years, making Jay the network's leading figure. Outside television, Jay maintained a packed touring schedule, around 150 performances a year across the United States, from small Las Vegas stages to university auditoriums. He once said, "If I'm off stage for a few days, I start to miss the smell of the audience." Every trip followed a strict itinerary, leaving no room for rest. The late 1990s marked the golden era of The Tonight Show. The special Cheers finale episode in 1993 drew over 22 million viewers. The show's 10th anniversary in 2002 attracted nearly 12 million. NBC estimated that weekly profits exceeded $30 million. Inside the studio, Jay kept working like a craftsman. He took only 2 days off after his mother's funeral in 1993. Colleagues described him as having no weakness, while Jay simply said, "I work, I sleep, then I work again. That's all." Transition and return. In 2000, NBC began discussing long-term succession plans. They chose Conan O'Brien as his eventual replacement, scheduled to take over after 2009. The announcement came 8 years early to avoid internal turbulence. Jay accepted the decision, stating succinctly at the press conference, "Every show needs a next chapter." On May 29, 2009, Jay presented his final episode after 17 years. The Burbank studio was filled with colleagues and longtime fans. He closed the show with a simple line, "This has been the best job in the world." A few months later, NBC announced that Jay would move to a new primetime program called The Jay Leno Show. The decision set off a conflict with Conan O'Brien. Before that dispute erupted, though, Jay had completed his first 20 years in television with solid standing and the image of a tireless worker. On March 1, 2010, Jay Leno returned to host The Tonight Show after more than half a year of disputes between NBC and Conan O'Brien. The decision ended a turbulent chapter for the network and restored its audience ratings. Jay continued his work until February 6, 2014, when he officially passed the torch to Jimmy Fallon. After his final broadcast in 2014, Jay walked out of NBC. The garage becomes the main stage. A few months after his television departure, Jay began producing Jay Leno's Garage, a 1-hour documentary special about cars. The special received strong positive feedback, leading CNBC to sign a full series deal in 2015. Jay Leno's Garage ran continuously through 2022, spanning 7 seasons. Episodes were filmed at Jay's private garage in Burbank, blending interviews and vehicle tests with celebrity guests such as Elon Musk, President Joe Biden, and Jerry Seinfeld. On the show, Jay often said, "Cars are the only thing that make me quiet. When the engine starts, everything else stops." The line became his personal creed, expressing not only his passion, but also his habit of retreating from the noise of show business. Are you enjoying this story, Jay Leno? Then help the channel with your subscription. Look, 94.8% of the people who watch these videos are still not subscribed to the channel. If you are part of that group, take the chance and subscribe now. It's free. And that way you'll keep receiving amazing stories from TV shows we still miss. Oh, and don't forget, at the end of the video you'll find more stories like this one. Jay's car collection is a rare mechanical treasure. At Big Dog Garage, he owns more than 180 cars and 160 motorcycles with a total value exceeding $50 million. Among them are a 1994 McLaren F1 worth over $20 million, 2 Doble steam cars once owned by Howard Hughes, and a 1909 Baker Electric, Jay's gift to his wife. He is also the only person to own 3 functioning 1963 Chrysler turbine cars. Every vehicle in the collection is restored by hand, documented with technical records, and personally test-run by Jay. Many newspapers describe his garage as a private museum where technology and memory coexist. Alongside television, Jay writes the Motormouth column for Popular Mechanics. His articles focus on mechanics restoring steam engines, testing hybrid cars, and building jet-powered vehicles. His writing style is plain and unpretentious, centered on experience and technical precision, personal life and continuing rhythm. In his private life, Jay and his wife Mavis Leno are known for their discretion. Married since 1980, they have never had children. Mavis is active in human rights and women's organizations, serving on the board of the Feminist Majority Foundation. Jay simply says, "She's the one who taught me how to be quiet." In 1998, they donated $100,000 to support women in Afghanistan, an act recorded in the foundation's history. The couple rarely speaks about charity, but continues to contribute annually to education funds and automobile museums. In his 70s, Jay still keeps his usual discipline, 4 hours of sleep and 16 hours of work each day. When a reporter asked if he ever felt tired, Jay answered simply, "No, I'm still doing what I love. If I stop, I'll rust like an engine that never runs." The harsh years. In November 2022, while repairing a 1907 white steam car in his garage, a small spark ignited in the fuel chamber. Jay Leno suffered severe burns to his face, hands, and chest, 2nd- and 3rd-degree injuries. He was rushed to the Grossman Burn Center in West Hills, where he underwent 10 days of intensive treatment, including multiple skin grafts. Images of his bandaged face appeared across the media. Jay remained silent as his health improved. He said in a brief interview, "My face was on fire." The simple sentence conveyed the full gravity of the accident. Doctors confirmed his quick recovery was due to strong physical condition and unwavering determination. Only 2 months later, in January 2023, Jay had another accident while riding a vintage motorcycle. A wire stretched across the road caused him to lose balance, breaking his collarbone and 2 ribs. Still at the same hospital, he refused to cancel his shows, telling reporters, "I cracked a few parts, but the laughter's still intact." By mid-2023, when asked about the series of mishaps, Jay simply replied, "I grew up in a garage. Accidents are normal." He returned to the stage within 3 weeks, performing in Las Vegas before more than 2,000 spectators. No one could tell his face had undergone reconstructive surgery. In early 2024, Jay faced another accident while filming a car test video in Pennsylvania. He slipped down an 18-meter slope, fracturing his wrist and bruising his face. In a later conversation, he said briefly, "Feeling good. As long as I can work, I'm alive." The dry response was perfectly in character. The incident worried fans, but Jay never paused his work. A week later, he appeared at a vintage car exhibition in California, his arm still bandaged. Alongside these professional hazards, 2024 also marked a profound personal turning point. His wife, Mavis Leno, was diagnosed with progressive memory loss. The usually private couple was forced to disclose the information in Los Angeles court records. On April 1, 2024, the court officially granted Jay legal guardianship over her financial and medical affairs. In his filing, he stated clearly that he wanted to ensure every care decision is made with love and absolute safety. After the hearing, Jay told reporters, "Love is taking care of each other when one can't." According to his attorney, Mavis sometimes no longer recognizes her husband. Her doctor's report described advanced dementia requiring full-time guardianship. Even so, Jay continued bringing her to small public events, saying that keeping daily routines helped her feel stable. The journey continues. In early summer 2024, Jay appeared again in a new episode of Jay Leno's Garage. Wearing a leather jacket and his familiar smile, he introduced a restored vintage electric car. Later that year, when the media revisited his series of accidents, Jay responded briefly, "I don't think I had problems. I just fix cars and sometimes the cars fight back." The observation carried the same dry humor that defined his comic style for decades. Doctors confirmed that he made a full recovery. His skin healed well, bones mended quickly, and his spirit remained strong. As 2025 began, Jay Leno turned 75. After 2 years of recovery and personal upheaval, he still maintained his familiar rhythm. His tour schedule started in February in Florida and continued through the end of the year with shows in Connecticut, New Jersey, Nevada, and California, nearly 170 performances in total. The venues remained packed. Many in the audience came just to see the man who had survived 3 major accidents. Jay appeared simply. No effects, no dramatic lighting. Every show opened the same way. He walked on stage, adjusted the microphone, and said, "I just finished fixing a car and it didn't blow up." Jay Leno's garage continued to thrive online. The 2025 videos focused on electric cars and new technologies. In a test drive clip featuring the Cadillac Celestiq, Jay smiled and said, "I don't buy them all. I just keep the ones that make me happy." His tone was steady and calm, still carrying his trademark wit. Jay's health remained astonishingly strong. He still slept 4 hours a night, woke early, and drank cold water instead of coffee. No alcohol, no cigarettes, no sugar. His personal physician once said, "He's the only patient I know who never takes a day off." Jay repeated that line on stage as a punchline in his act. His personal wealth was estimated at around $450 million, with his car collection accounting for about 10 to 15% of that value. Big Dog Garage in Burbank served as his home workshop and primary storage. He spent most of his days there with a small team of mechanics restoring classic cars one by one. In January 2025, when massive wildfires struck Los Angeles, Jay and a group of friends volunteered, driving his vintage fire truck to deliver food and water to rescue teams. He rarely accepted awards or attended honorary ceremonies. To the media, Jay made it clear, "I don't like standing in front of a camera to get a trophy. I like standing in a garage doorway watching smoke rise from the exhaust." The statement reflected his enduring work ethic, unchanged since his youth. In another interview, when speaking about his wife, Jay's eyes softened. He said, "She's still got the fire. That's what love is." Then he paused for a few seconds before changing the subject to cars, as if to steady himself. That brief moment helped many understand why he still worked every day. At the end of 2025, Jay attended a fundraising event for burn patients in California, one of his rare appearances as an honorary guest. His speech was brief, without personal anecdotes, focused only on gratitude toward the medical team. "They're the ones who helped me look at my face again and keep smiling." Amid his packed schedule, Jay still made time for the car community. He hosted small gatherings at his garage, sharing experience in restoring vintage engines and encouraging young people to pursue technical trades. At the end of the year, he remained in his routine, performing stand-up on weekends, filming videos early in the week, and spending mornings inspecting cars in the "Are you enjoying this story, Jay Leno? Then help the channel with your subscription." Look, 94.8% of the people who watch these videos are still not subscribed to the channel. If you are part of that group, take the chance and subscribe now. It's free, and that way you'll keep receiving amazing stories from TV shows we still miss. Oh, and don't forget, at the end of the video, you'll find more stories like this one, Garage. After more than half a century in the business, Jay Leno still preserved the same simple structure of life. One side belonged to the stage lights, the other to the smell of gasoline and cold steel. After years of hardship, the two worlds no longer separated. They blended into one, shaping the portrait of a tireless working man in an ever-changing era of entertainment. If you're inspired by stories of people who live fully with their passion, like Jay Leno, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode.